And the top shelf's a bit of a miscellaneous shelf. I haven't really found room for one of the new acquisitions, which is the question mark cube from Mario and the Brickheads Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm probably going to move all the Brickheads soon. All the Disney Brickheads have currently been moved. All the others are probably going to move. And the top shelf there, it really is the tall things that I can't find place for. Now, I see a lot of people put the treehouse into their cities. I haven't, because I don't feel it's to scale. I don't feel a treehouse should be taller than, say, most of the modulars, which is why it doesn't go in my city. We've got the globe at the back, which I like, but I'm probably going to end up taking apart, and the same with Cap Shield. I think both of those are going to end up not parted out, but reverse bagged and put into storage, because I just don't. They take up too much space, and I don't like them that much. I will keep them. I just can't bring myself to sell things. That's who I am. But we'll go on to the next shelf. Okay. Our next shelf down's a bit more organised. It's what I like to consider my 90s shelf. You've got Jaws, Home Alone, Back to the Future, and the latest acquisition for that shelf, which is the Mogwai. Absolutely love this Mogwai. One of my favourite sets that Lego have made in the last couple of years. Just love what they've done with it. Love the way it is. It's a really good build. Okay, next we go on to my Nintendo shelf, which actually could do with a bit of room creating for it, so I can get the mystery cube onto it, or maybe expand it onto a secondary shelf. I think I'm going to need to expand, because as soon as I find Luigi on a decent offer, I'm going to end up picking him up. And I don't think Nintendo are anywhere near done with it. Also, I want to buy the it's now retired, the NES console, so that'd need some space. And then there's also, at some point, I finally am going to venture into Pokemon, I guess. So the bit I might sacrifice might be on the next shelf. Also, there's another Zelda set. Love Zelda, always love Zelda, so I think at some point I need to go into that. I managed to pick up the blue shell a couple of weeks ago. They redid the points offer. That morning, ironically, I'd been into the Lego store and bought a bunch of pick-a-brick boxes, and I also think I brought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'd spent my points. And then my friend messaged me going, "Oh, by the way, do you have the blue spiky shell from Mario?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he's like, "Oh, well, guess what? They've re-put it up for points rewards. You know, utilise so many points and get it." And I was like, "I've literally just spent my points." And he's like, "Maybe try giving Lego a call. They might take pity on you." And ironically, Lego customer service did take pity on me. I will say lately, Lego customer service, the issue has been getting hold of them. I don't know what they've done. It feels like they've let a load of their staff go or something. They're just not managing the amount of issues they get. Other than that, I will say, when you do finally get through to customer service, they always resolve your issue. Calling them, in my opinion, is the quickest way. I rang them on that day, and they gave me the points to buy the blue spiky shell, which is brilliant. On the next shelf is the roller coaster. That's something I think I might sacrifice. Love this build. Really enjoyed building it. Promised everyone I'd make a video on it and never have. It's absolutely awesome. Love it to pieces. I have wanted it since I got back into Lego. Like the loop coaster, like the carousel. I'd love to have space to make a proper fairground, but I also don't feel like Lego have done justice, in the sense that they've never made like a Dodgems or a Log Flume official set. So I feel if they ever did that, that would be it. I would probably destroy my city and make a proper fun fair. But they haven't, so I haven't. Okay, and on the bottom shelf on this one, you've got the Quickie Mart, the A-frame cabin, which is so underrated a set, and then the Sesame Street, which again is another underrated set. All three of these so underrated for what they are. The Sesame Street and the Quickie Mart, I picked them up off eBay, reasonable price paid, and the A-frame, I brought that new. The A-frame, I think, is now retired. Also, all three of those are now retired. But I love these sets. They have such a good place in my heart, and I love them being there. And then on the top shelf here, we have Pirates of the Barracuda Bay and the Motorised Lighthouse in the corner. Love the Pirates of the Barracuda Bay. Love the fact that you can switch this one up into this mode or ship mode. I might change it because it's been like this for so long. I might turn it into the other mode soon. The lighthouse, again, not in my city, mainly because I just don't feel I've got the space to give a beach what it deserves. I think it uses up a lot of base plates, and there's so many modulars. We'll get to that when we actually get to my city. When I give you a next in-depth look at that, I'll explain the issues I've got. I mean, I am limited on space. I don't have all the space in the world. You know, I'm a normal human being. I can't afford to go rent a Lego studio to keep all my collection. I have to make do with what I've got. Sometimes I have to rotate. I make sacrifices, things like that. It can't always be, oh yeah, I'll just, you know, erect another IKEA shelf that's cost me a couple of £100 at a time, which some of these content creators can do. I'm not blessed in that area. I just have to make do with what I've got. I was quickly doing a bit of dusting then before we move on to the next shelf, realising how dusty this section is. Next is our medieval section. So you've got the medieval town square, and you've got the medieval blacksmith Lego ideas set. Right, this area of my collection, I actually have quite a few bits backlogged to build on it. And the reason I haven't is I haven't got the space to display it, so I need to start thinking about this area soon. I have upstairs the Wolfpack Den Bricklink Designer program. I have Lion Knight's Castle. I have I have quite a bit of castle to get on with, and I just haven't. Okay, and we'll move, and then at some point I want to pick up the new 3-in-1 and do a rebrickable with it, much like the rebrickable we're about to see. Okay, on this shelf here we have the what is it called? I can't remember. Can't even remember what this one's called here. Sound off in the comments if you can remember. I've forgotten. Completely escaped me. I might remember later. It's a remake of a vintage set. And then this is the last 3-in-1 castle. This is 4 copies of it converted into something called the Black Falcon Keep. It's a rebrickable. You can find the instructions on rebrickable. And that's a glorious castle now. Look at that. Yeah, so that is there in all its glory. And we move on to the next shelf, which is completely dominated by Lord of the Rings. We have the old Shire house, Bilbo's old house. I don't have all the minifigures for that set. I only have Gandalf, and the reason is I think I paid like 30 quid for it. I didn't pay a lot of money. And then in the back you've got Rivendell. I don't own Barrandor. I don't own the new Shire. And obviously I haven't brought Midas Torf yet either, because, you know, yeah, I've got a spare 500 odd quid just lying around. It's not like I already don't spend all my spare money on Lego. So, yeah, and also, where would I put it is the factor. Same with Barrandor. The reason I haven't purchased that one yet is I know it's a big tower, you know, and where would I put it is the issue. Love this one at the back though, absolutely love it. Would like to buy multiple copies and do some of the extensions that are on rebrickable, but you know, money's a factor, and it's, you know, 350 odd quid a time, so it's probably never going to happen. Right, I'm going to move you on to the bottom shelf, which is some of the space on the bottom shelf is designated for the castles that I haven't built yet, and so on and so forth. So you've got the Viking village. Love this set, so underrated. Was only about £100 before it retired. Quite often get it on offer. I just wish they'd done more with the Viking theme as a whole. A little bit disappointed they haven't done as much as I'd like. Got the, whatever it's called, the Racing Slope, a city set from last year and all the cars. The only reason I brought that slope is I got it for £20 in B&M about a month after it came out. And now I think I will end up incorporating that slope into my city at some point when I do an elevator piece. I'll use it to go up. Other than that, I should really part that out. And then on the end, no, I am not one of these castle people that just stick them on a plate. Those are, so the Wolfpack people are obviously set up ready for my Wolfpack den whenever I build it, my Bricklink designer. The guys at the back, which were the Paladin from another CMF series, I think I'm going to use those on the other 3-in-1 castle rebrickable when I get round to building that. And then down here at the front, you've got some pick-a-brick. I can't remember if you remember, but not so long ago, Lego put the Lion Knight's castle torsos and body parts into their build a pick-a-brick figure. Anyway, I brought a couple of boxes just so I've got a good storage of those ready to help flesh out my Lion Knight's castle. So all of those, no, I'm not leaving them on a base plate there. They are to flesh out castles. That's what they're for. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Now, this next one's a little bit different. This is our current tabletop display. And this is currently holding my wife's newest iteration of the Hogwarts castle. We don't have the newest one that came out the other day, the E-Swing, because I don't like to buy them at full price. So I shall wait till someone discounts it, or I'm feeling particularly flush at one point and we shall buy it. I personally don't think they're finished. I've heard lots of rumours about people saying, oh, that's it, it's the last one. I haven't done this, I haven't done that, but it's the last one. I don't think they're finished with this castle. My reasoning for that is they've not really done anything with this flying lesson, like I've put it there, but that's technically not an official placement for it. And when the E-Swing comes in, that doesn't go there then. Then at the back we've got the Ministry of Magic. She hates that set. Anyone that owns it will probably agree. It's so fragile, it breaks so much, it's so weak. So it is there because my wife won't move it, basically. She says every time she touches it, it falls apart. She hates it. And then hiding at the back, we've got a bit of architecture. We've got the Notre Dame. And also, we've got the newest Privet Drive. Love that minifigure at the back of Aunt Marge inflated. So there's just a bit of my wife's sort of Harry Potter, but there's her, like, current big display. That big castle taking up a lot of that. And we're on to the marble section. We've had some changes over here, basically because I've been able to make room for the head pieces. I'll show you where those are later. And again, I've still got a lot of the brickheads, the marble brickheads, so I need to figure out what we're going to do with those. There's a lot of smaller builds in this section, because sometimes I just pick up a little cheap marble set, mainly because I like a minifigure or something like that, or just because I want something to build, although the want something to build excuse isn't really working because I've got so much in a backlog that I haven't even touched. Anyway, I'll move on to the next shelf and we'll carry on. And on the next shelf, this is the old Shield helicarrier. I'll call it the old one because it's the original one. I'm not buying the new one. I'm not in. I'm sorry. I prefer this one. Everything I've seen about it, I prefer this one. At the back, you've got one of the Age of Empires, I think. Not Age of Empires, Age of Ultron sets. No, it's a Thanos set, one of the battle pieces. You've got the deli grocery at the front here that I brought for the Spot figure. A couple of brickheads still. The Spider-Man Wolverine car that I brought for Wolverine. The subway train. Massively underrated, this set. Love the Doc Ock. Love what they've done with him here. Fabulous little set. A friend of mine's bought a couple and I think he plans to motorise it for his city if he ever gets round to making his city. I don't think he'll ever get round to doing it personally. I think it's a running joke between us that he'll never get his city done. but we shall see. Okay, we'll go on to the next shelf. And onto the next shelf, you have the DC Shadow Box, the Batcave in all its glory, and the old Batmobile. I say the old one, I think it's the 70s or the 80s Batmobile, Adam West version, let's call it that. The Kapow Bow Whiz, and the Shadow Box, now retired set. I picked that up on eBay without the minifigures for about £250. And then I got Bruce Wayne in a polybag, which works in there, and also gave me the bat suit, which is hiding behind there, in a polybag. I haven't picked up any of the other minifigures, and I'm not willing to spend the hundreds of pounds that they want for them. But we'll move on to the next shelf, give you a better idea what's next. The 1989 Batmobile, love that Batmobile. It's just beautiful. Love the way they've done that. Now retired. And then on the next shelf, we're getting quite low now. How low can you go? And this is quite an awkward section of the collection as well, because it's not exactly in the greatest position. So, we have the 1989 Batwing and the Tumbler. I think that's the second Tumbler, not the first one. And then on the final shelf, we've got a bit of a mix and match. We've got some Transformers. Still haven't picked up Starscream. The reason is I only paid £90 for Optimus, so I'm waiting for a good deal on Starscream, and I need to buy the new Brickheads that are now out. Megatron, I believe. Got Bumblebee. Love them, but they are very, very delicate designs. You really have to be careful with those things. And then a couple of extra Marvel sets that I probably paid next to nothing for, which is why I've got them. Normally with things like that I don't really care about, I'll buy if they're... So like that Hopper, that Miss Marvel Hopper, I think I paid about 20 quid for her. The... the one on the end, I've forgotten what film it's from, which I can't believe I've forgotten it. It's a great film. But yeah, again, I'd have paid next to nothing for it. Anyway, we'll move on to the next section. Because I'm getting old, my voice is starting to go. Right, on the next section, we're into Harry Potter now, which is really my wife's domain. You've got the first iteration of their house. I can't remember what it's called. She'd probably be screaming at me at the moment. Gringotts Bank without the structural underneath mine thing. Bits of Hogsmeade, I think. And then down onto the next shelf, you've got the big UCS version, I'm going to call it, for want of a better word, of... not Nocturne Alley, not Gringotts, Diagon Alley, yeah, and then Forks at the front. In my opinion, this is still the best version. Okay, I know they've made the smaller versions, which I'll show you in a minute, since, but yeah, that is now retired and it's just beautiful. Right, down onto the next shelf, we have Grimmauld Place, which is one of my favourite Lego sets still to date because of what it does. It opens up. Any of you that haven't seen it, I'm not going to show it you today on video. Maybe I'll make a separate video about Lego sets that really surprised me, and that was one of them. And then you've got the other part of Hogsmeade there at the back. And then these are the small versions of Diagon Alley. Haven't got them all. Got a couple. There's two, I think, more that are out that I'm missing. And then you've got the carriage, and my wife really loved that set, and that's the original gift we purchase, Monster Book of Monsters. Okay, and down onto the next shelf you've got the micro scale Hogwarts. I think I paid about £90 for that, good value for money. The botanical garden just hiding in there, and the last little bit of Diagon Alley that didn't fit on that other shelf up above, and then that stupid Dobby that they've now remade. Nobody wanted the first one, don't know why they've remade the second one. But again, that's probably another video worthy set of why did you make this Lego. Okay, on the bottom shelf for this section, you've got Malfoy Manor. You've got the new house, I've forgotten what it's called again, the boat at the back, and Hagrid's hut. That's the older Hagrid's hut, I think. Yeah, because the new one was on the table. Or it might be the other way around. I can't remember. I'm not massive Harry Potter. So sound off in the comments which one's the older, which one's the newer. They're both there anyway. And then, yeah, their house, again, is there. Malfoy Manor, interesting set, that one. I'm tempted to either use that or another copy of Home Alone to build myself a Wayne Manor for this. Not sure what I'm going to do. Either pick up 2 more of those or pick up a Home Alone house and make me a Wayne Manor to go on top of my shadow box. That's an idea I'm playing with. Let me know what you think of that. Anyway, we'll go on to the next bit. And here we are into the other section. You've got the Space Age set that I didn't really know what to do with, so I've just kind of left it there. You've got the Up House, and we're getting into my wife's botanicals and things like that now. Right, so she has moved all of the Disney brickheads over to here, which I really like what she's done there. And those are all the ones we've got so far. I know there's a lot more. Then we get into her Creator 3-in-1 bits and bobs, and into some other Harry Potter sets. Okay, and then there's the old theme. You've got the clock tower. You've got the old Great Hall and stuff like that hiding down there. And then into sort of stuff that I look after, the CMF line. I 3D print those sections for it. Might be a couple missing on the Marvel one, because I've had to go repurchase She-Hulk, and then there's one that I've got upstairs that for some reason isn't with the rest of them. And then onto now I mentioned my heads earlier. I need to pick up Carnage. I need to pick up the other Batman. I really don't want to, but I'm going to end up buying Miles Morales, and I'm not going to go into why I don't want to buy Miles Morales, because it'll set me off, and nobody wants to hear me rant about my own personal opinions. And then there's a bit more Disney. The Cruella car, that was a nice pickup recently. You've got Little Wally, and then more of my wife's botanicals hiding basically here behind. There's all my ugly books. For some reason I can't throw them away. You've got Winnie the Pooh, a 3-in-1 lighthouse, and then we'll take you round to the next. Looking good there at the top. We've got the OG Disney Castle, the GWP Toy Story TV thing that I think they're about to re-release as another GWP. Your standing Mickey and Minnie, which are a pain in the backside. They're quite fragile. But again, I like them. The Lilo and Stitch beach thing. And then you come down onto the next shelf where we've got a bit of space currently. We're not doing anything with that yet. That'll get filled, don't worry. It won't take long. And then, yeah, there is the Sanderson sisters and one of the Disney castles. And then onto the next shelf, you've got Beauty and the Beast, Nightmare Before Christmas, Hey Hey, and the Disney camera at the back there. Love that Disney camera. Love the design of it. Love what they've done with it. Love the Snow White. Love all the minifigures. And same goes for Nightmare Before Christmas. That whole shelf there, a lot of the things on that, they're quite newish sets apart from the Disney camera. Some of the ones they've done in the last few years there really deserve some credit. And then on to one of our lower bottom shelves, which you can't really see from this side, and you can't see from that side because there's Funko in front of it, is the cat, the Disney oyster, and some flowers. I'll see if I can get you a better picture. There you go, around here, getting you a better picture. Had to move some Funkos. Funkos are currently about to go into storage. We just don't appreciate them anymore, so that's what's going to happen with those. Yeah, the cat, the oyster, I think she wants the other cat, or maybe even the dog. And then there's some more of the botanicals. The botanicals are something I jokingly buy my wife for every time she tells me I don't buy her flowers. I buy her Lego flowers. And on our bottom shelf down here, completely not in view, will be once I finish putting all these Funkos in the loft, is the Gaza Pyramid, the Tranquil Garden, and on the end there is the, what's it called, Old Spangly Face, the one about vampires. Oh, my wife loves it. Not my thing at all, as you can probably guess. Really annoyed that they let that actor play Batman. That was an awful Batman film. I'm sorry it was. Twilight. There we go. Twilight finally got there. Other little bits just hiding around the house are some of the Lego art. That's quite a new one. I can't remember what it's called. Japanese or something. I don't know. Sarah loves it. So. And Mona Lisa is hiding behind my current Acromills system that I'm sorting out at the moment. And again, hiding on my windowsill is some of the Lego flowers. And the London Tower Bridge, that was a recent build. It's so big. I believe they're remaking that. Thankfully, my dad actually gave me that. He likes building the architecture. And then he doesn't have space to keep them, so he tends to give them to me. And hey presto, here it is. And then just hiding behind this window is the Sherlock Holmes book nook, one of the best book nooks ever, clearly. And the fauna lion that I picked up one day at B&M for about £20, which is why I've got it. But that book nook is fantastic. Doesn't get the credit it deserves. There you go, that's our Lego display currently, obviously not including the city. The city would deserve a video itself. This collection deserved a video itself, to be honest. I hope you enjoyed the content. Remember to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel if you do interact with the video. It reaches more people. We're trying to up that subscriber count. I'm up to 200 now, which is great. It's took me over a year to get 200 subscribers. I get it, I'm a little guy, but you know, our Lego content we do for fun, but if you can interact with it, we really appreciate it. It makes a massive difference to us. Okay, take care, see you soon.